Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Age of Conan Online. And this is the new free-to-play version of the game, Unchained. And it is now free-to-play, and it's, as you can see, a 3D MMORPG. But let's get started. You can see I have this level 32 Demonologist. And the reason I have that is when the game first was released, I'm going to talk about that while I create my new character. When the game was first released, I actually was a pay-to-play customer, and so when I went ahead and logged into my old account, that character was still there. And as you can see, I've got one empty slot. So basically, if you upgrade to premium, you can see they've got that right there, and then they also have a cash shop. You have multiple slots open, but as a free-to-play player, I only have two. So when we first come in and we select this, it's kind of weird, so you can't have just two characters across multiple servers, essentially. You pick your server. So I'm going to jump on this PvP medium load. You also see there's this Blood and Glory PvP, which has a different rule set, a little bit different from just the standard PvP. Pretty in-depth as far as the different rule set they have. I'll go into that a little bit more in my, my write-up review, not here. So let's jump into Tyranny. And let's go ahead and hit create. And one thing that I can tell you is this, some of these loading screens take a little bit. I tried to jump in the game and get a lot of this content downloaded and cached before this, so it wouldn't take as long. It looks like it worked out to my advantage. So, but like I said, I played Age of Conan a long time ago when it was pay to play. It's really kind of this this character creation section is really done kind of cool. So you see right here, you start off, you kind of look, do I want to choose a female? There's the females. Or do we want to choose a male? Slides over to this guy. We're actually going to choose a female. I know you guys love it when I do this. But, you know, I've got my certain names that I go with. And one of these days, I'm going to do a video for you guys and tell you why I choose this. It'll be like more like a vlog than an actual Inside the Den, but I'll tell you exactly why I choose that name. You guys will probably get a kick out of it. So, but anyways, going forward, you can choose essentially from 4 different races. The last race, the Khitan, you can't unless you have the expansion. So the game does also have adventure packs. So even if you upgrade to, you upgrade to a certain account level, there's also, if you want to take and you want to just stay in the free environment, you can purchase the individual expansion packs or adventure packs, so you don't have to become a premium player to do that. So, but we're going to go through one of the 3 options that are available to us, and you can see each of them have their own write-up, and you can see as I'm clicking through them over on the right-hand side, the number of actual character classes that I can play, lessons, or it basically just adjusts. So we're going to go ahead and go with a Cimmerian, very similar to Conan. As you can see, it actually talks about that right there. So we're going to go ahead and we're also going to go with a Barbarian. And you can see it's kind of interesting. The Barbarian fits under the Rogue class. Probably because they can't use shields and they have to wear light armor and they use, basically all kinds of just weaponry, and they're just really kind of brutal. But let's cruise on and let's go to the customization. But it's really pretty cool. I mean, you can see overall there's 12 different classes you can choose from. But you can see a lot of them are locked. So you can either upgrade or you can buy these individual classes and stuff like that. So, but as a Cimmerian, I can't even play any of the mage classes. You can only play the mage classes if you choose this dungeon. So let's customize. Now, when you get into here, you've got kind of your basic customization, which I'm going to end up using, but I just want to show you guys this real quick. You can go to advanced, and you can see, basically, you can choose anything and everything. You can adjust arm size, chest size, which, there's chest size and there's bosom. So, you basically can take and you can give her a big, chest cavity, basically like ribs and stuff like that, and then you can go straight to the tits. So, kind of cool. But we're going to go over here, we're going to go, and you can just use this and kind of adjust. You can see you can make her fat, thin, even more muscular. We'll make her somewhere between thin and muscular, make her nice and tall, and we'll give her some skin tone. And then you can choose different voice settings, and you can see as you go through there, you can hear the different ones. We're going to go ahead and go with that one, not spend too much time. And you can go through all these different markings on the body, stuff like that. I'm going to go, with a little scar on her shoulder. Then you got over here, and you can change your face out. You can see that changes. And once again, you can change out and go like Rebel like this. And you can go to Advanced and then adjust those settings down. So we'll go with kind of this color. And we'll stay with No Belong. That works. Nice and dark. Face markings. And you've got a bunch of different face markings and stuff like that as well. So we're going to go with, let's go with something kind of interesting. Let's see what we can find. that works, Western Wind. So you can also use a random, and you know, it's up to you really what you want to do there. But once again, as you can tell, because this was a pay-to-play game at one point in time, high production value as far as the character customization. So let's go ahead and accept our creation. Now, it kind of jumps right into this cutscene, which is really kind of cool, that the whole character creation process and all of that has its own cutscene, has its own storyline. The game has a very, very deep story, and even the adventure packs that come out over the course of time continue that story. And I mean, you'll see as you're running around and doing quests, it's one thing the game really has, heavy storyline. It's got heavy PvP, guild-based PvP, all of that good stuff that you expect from a high production quality game to have. But on top of that, I have to say, like, it's one of the deepest stories, but it has a lot of history to it. You know, the whole Conan storyline goes back years and years and years. You know, tons and tons of books, movies, the whole shot. So there's lots of storyline, this whole in-depth world, all of that different stuff. But you can see our boat crashed, and so we're actually underwater right now. Won't take too long. We'll pop up, we'll have our first little chat, and we'll jump right into the tutorial. Now, I'm actually going to pause the game right here, and I'm going to go through the tutorial and get myself past that, because there's a lot of things in there that I want to show you guys, but it takes longer than the time that I have. So I'm going to get us there, and then once I'm through the tutorial and all that stuff, I'll show you some boss fights and all the interface stuff and all that good jazz. So hang tight, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back, and I am just about done with the tutorial, but I did want to show you this little boss fight so you can see, like, as you progress through these different areas or complete different quests, you're going to have the bosses and stuff like that. I also have this chick following me around. There's a quest that I'm doing right now. It's this Find the Gate Key from Shipwrecked and escort Casilda to the city. So let's run in here. Let's take this guy out. Let me tell you something a little bit about the combat first. So you see down here at the bottom of my hotkeys, I've got 1, 2, and 3. Now essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to run in there in combat, and you're going to see kind of these, like, almost like little icons show up to the left, to the right, or on top of the boss, or on top of the NPC that I'm trying to fight. Now those are defensive, and they can actually assign defense to certain sides of them. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm attacking not only with my basic attacks, you know, the upper right or upper left or overhead attack, but also what will happen is you'll see when I use my skill, let's see, there we go, so you get it to come up, so there it is. So when I use that, I go ahead and then I trigger it with the actual key. So as you can see, combat is very interactive. It's not just press a button, wait to see what happens, or wait until the timing comes up. You got to do all that. So you've also got slam, and then I've got this cunning strike, and then I've got a stunning punch. So you're going to see I'm going to be able to use all these as I run in here and try and take this boss out. So it almost looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon, if you remember that movie freaking 1,000 years ago or whatever. So we're going to use all of our skills. We're going to use slam, maybe even knock him down. He might have a couple of buddies come out. But you can see his health is right here going down. It's also above his head. And you can see here's the shield pieces that I was talking about. So right now he's blocking all overhead. So I want to make sure that I hit him from the sides. And that'll pretty much guarantee, if you take and you use that to your advantage, you can really do a lot of extra damage and get yourself through fights much faster. So let's take all of these items and let's go ahead and take a look at them. We did get a couple of magical items there. So as you can see, I already did get one from another guy that I fought earlier, this Sedur's Scimitar. He was actually the guy who was my slave owner from the slave ship that crashed. And then I picked up a few other items. We're going to go ahead and pick this one up, this Faquith's Bite. We're going to drop it right over here, and then we're going to hit yes because we want it to bind to us. So as you can see, your equipment and your inventory comes up real easily. Just basically hit I, both come up. I've also found a few little items. This drinking cape is actually something that I got because I actually pre-ordered the game when it was pay to play. So I got this and a mammoth mount and a bunch of other stuff when I took, and as you can see, I've got mammoth riding, which requires level 40, so I'm not going to use that anytime soon. So I'll have to throw that in my bank when I get into town. But we went ahead and we equipped that two-handed sword. Let's see here. Actually, I pressed the wrong one, so let's close that. We'll get to that part. So it's a two-handed sword, 9.9. I don't know if I do more DPS because I was actually able to use 2 weapons or just the one, but we're going to try it out, see how it works. Now, if you bring up P, this actually brings up like all your attributes and your skills and stuff like that. So you can see I've got my experience at 4% until I reach level 6. Also, just so you know, you can hold down shift and that'll make you run. But let's get back through these. So you can see my attribute scores. You can see you've got different factions. You've got combat skills and stuff like that. Then you've also got physical, health, and all these different statistics. The game, statistically wise, is very in-depth. So it just goes right along with the level of depth as far as the storyline. Now, unfortunately, because I was talking to you guys, I forgot to pick up the key that's going to open up that gate. So I've got to now run back to where I was. But in the meantime, we'll talk about, you've got PvP stats and PvP combat, so you can see all the different things that go along with that. Let's close all this stuff down and figure out where we're at here. So one thing that's really interesting is, you know, the game has a really small map. And that to me is really, really kind of strange. You know, you think a game like this would have a very detailed, you know, large map that they want you to check out and be able to tool around and see different, you know, different stuff on the map. But it has a really small map in comparison to other games. Not really a gripe, just something I found odd. You can see down in the chat box here, I definitely need to change my chat box colors because it's hard to read all that stuff. But I'm not going to deal with that right now. But you can see there's almost constant chat going on, so there's a pretty decent amount of players running around at all times. So it's always nice to see that. Once we get out of this area, which as soon as we needed that key to do, we'll see a lot more players running around in the areas that we're in and stuff like that. Now graphically you can see, I mean, tons of cool stuff. I mean, the game is known for like its brutal qualities, so you can see like skulls, and you'll see like all over the place there's, you know, guys like hanging on, you know, they're like tied up and brutally mauled. And when it comes to that, occasionally when you're fighting you'll actually get a fatality, and when you get a fatality the screen has like all these blood splatters hit it, and you actually do kind of a random death move. And as you can see, like I said, from the gore factor, you'd see these kind of natives that are all just massacred here and laying around and beat up. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and it's going to complete the quest. And this chick is supposed, I believe she's supposed to talk to us. Maybe, maybe not. Actually, I think we're supposed to talk to her. There we go. Another thing, when you talk to the different NPCs, tons and tons of dialogue, tons of voice acting, stuff like that. Really cool. Once again, it's just a matter of you see the high level of production value. So you look so thoughtful. Is something wrong? Let's see if we can go through all these. Will you be recaptured? So there we go. We finished that quest. And we've got a few other things. First, we've got to get through these apes. So let's use some of our skills. See how much better this two-handed sword takes these things out. Looks like it's actually taking them out pretty good. So I believe they all just drop bananas, which is really funny. How ironic that these giant apes will all drop bananas. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. We'll get some bananas here. We get any bananas? Yep, there we go. So as you can see, you get your normal little kind of bag of loot, take all, and we're gonna go ahead and eat the bananas because they give us +7 health and some another buff for basically an hour. So, and we're off. Let's see if we can. Now you'll see as you run by these, you'll see my character get this kind of this highlighted glow. These are essentially resurrection areas. So once you reach them, they're almost like save points, which is kind of funny to see in a game. But once it's active, you take and that's where if you die, you'll go back there. So it's kind of cool to make sure that you find those, so you're not having to resurrect really far away in the event that you do die. But there's a key to that. Just don't die, and then you won't have to worry about it. But in these, in these early areas, it's really funny because there's a lot of them. But what I think is strange about that is it's almost an impossibility that you're going to actually die. So let's cruise through here, take out a few more of these apes, and then we'll finally... There we go. Now we actually got a couple to attack us. Now, here's something that I find really cool about the game. So I can take, and I can actually... I don't have to target this guy to attack him. So I just have to face him. So if I'm facing him, I'm going to attack him. Even though you could see the little targeting circle was around the base of this ape, it actually attacked the other guy, the other ape, while I was facing him. One thing I find really, really cool about the game and stuff like that is just, I mean, that's just a really cool feature in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't give a shit, but I think it's pretty cool. So here we go. Let's take out the Ape King boss, knock him down, let's try and sweep him. Let's use our new skill. What is our new skill? This one's 6. A Cunning Strike. So basically just does a bunch of extra damage. And he drops the Ape King treasure to take all that. Now, one thing that was really nice is that I actually had a bag that I got, so I was able to upgrade my equipment, or else I believe you're just limited to these 16 spaces. But I actually have a little bit more because I had that bag from my pre-order. So there we go. So we're going to bust through these real quick. But another thing about the game, very, very adult in nature. So you're going to see a lot of things. You know, there's nudity, there's cussing, there's a lot of blood and gore. You're going to see a lot of sexual innuendos and stuff like that. So if you're looking for something that's a little less on the I guess you could say the kids side of things, definitely something to check out as far as Conan. I mean, graphics are great, soundtrack is great, sounds in general are great. I have them turned down a little bit so make sure you guys can hear me. Tons and tons of quests, great storyline. I mean, it's hard to really say you know, how the game didn't survive as a pay-to-play, other than the fact that it's just taking on the 800-pound gorilla in the room, which is World of Warcraft. But you're seeing, and just to show you, there we go, we're finally out of that tutorial area. We're seeing other characters running around and stuff like that. But you know, that's going to be the difficulty. But as we've been seeing over the recent past, more and more of these more of these pay-to-play games are going free-to-play. They're seeing a huge jump in their actual player base and stuff like that. So it's really been advantageous for these games to go free-to-play. So now we need to talk to this guy because we need to get some shackles taken off. How can I remove them? Red hand, blah, 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 blah. Let's get through this. Goodbye. So, as you can see, tons of quests. We also have a little area right over here that's an instance area. I think it's over here. It's actually, I believe it's actually up this way, but it doesn't matter. You can see the red dot on the map right there. Let's see if we can get over here so we can highlight it before we start looking at some of these other features. So the Tortage Underhall, it's a dungeon, levels 10 to 20. So obviously we can't do that right now. But you know what? I'm going to make my character dance while I show you guys some of these other features in here as we go through all the different stuff. So I'm hitting the wrong buttons. And so we already looked at our equipment and inventory. But you can see also you have vanity. So you can get gear that basically will show different than your actual armor. So kind of a cool little thing. A lot of Asian-based games have this. This is one of the few Western developed, I guess you could say, even though it was developed outside of the US, Western developed games that has it. One thing that I always like is when you've got a quest area and then a resource area that's actually separate from your actual bag. So kind of cool there. As we cruise along the top here, we already took a look at our attributes. We can also look at our combos and special abilities. And you can read up on all of these, and you can see the amount of stamina they take to use them. Here's more abilities, because you have, like, you could just hit H. Let's see if we stop. We don't have enough skill to sneak in this area. So essentially you've got hide, which is H, which if you take and you bring up your skills, and actually I've got a bunch of points to distribute, so I can actually put a bunch into hiding. And let's, you know what, let's cap it all out. Let's take it to 50. Can we? There we go. Take it all the way to 50. And then let's put a bunch into climbing, because I remember early on in the game, when I played this before, there's an area nearby that we actually need some climbing for. So let's accept that. You can see, then we've got all those skills up, and let's see if we can hide in this area now. There you go. So we're off. We can actually cruise around, sneak around, and be a little bit hidden. Kind of a cool feature, especially you can do that as any character in the game. You don't have to be a rogue type character. Really cool to be able to sneak around and stuff like that. But let's bring those back up. You can see you got the ability to switch weapons. Then you also have this Path of Asura. This ability allows you to retrace your steps, instantly return. So basically it's your rune stone, and you got crouch and all those basic things. And more of those come up as you go on. You've got different companions, and the different companions are mounts and pets and things like that. So let's talk to this guy and pick up the quest. Can you break my shackles? Yep, I'll bring in the stone bricks. Alright, so let's go off. And it's a little collection quest. The game does have a lot of different types of quests as far as you know, whether it's collection or kill this many, and you'd see it's got a basic quest journal. You can also see, you know, you bring up the little map on the quest journal, and you can see what you've got. You can also go in and see which quests you've completed, which are on cooldown, stuff like that. And then you've also got your different dungeons and things like that. Now I'm running in, and I'm getting a little overzealous here. I want to take, and let's see if we can take out a bunch of these guys with one shot. There we go. So taking out some brutal pirates. Let's use some different skills here. But I have to say, if you're looking for something different, just something, you know, an alternative 3D fantasy MMORPG, definitely check out Conan Unchained. It's worth it, especially now that it's free to play. There we go. I actually got a Fatality for you guys, so you can see the blood and all the animation and all that good jazz. So pretty cool that I actually got that. I think I could have gotten really unlucky and not been able to show you guys that that Fatality. So pretty cool in nature right there that I was able to show you that. But here's the bricks we've got to get, and it's pretty cool up here. You know, you're going to see this demon pop out and say hi and all that good jazz. So let's take this guy out so we can actually show that. I really like the fact that, oh, look at that, another Fatality. So you can see I basically just cut his head off. So pretty awesome stuff right there. 2 Fatalities you guys got to check out. Go ahead, and I want to see what you guys get. Tell me about it. We're going to pick up this brick, kill this demon, and then it'll be time for me to go. So there we go. He's going to pop out of his little cave right there or whatever. So he knocks us down with a little slam. So let's return the favor. Here we go. Let's get a little sweep in there. Take him out, do some massive damage. He's actually not protecting anywhere. So let's do a little cunning strike. Oh, actually missed him with the cunning strike. But we took him out. Everything else. So let's collect the, what did he drop there? Small mangled talon. So let's collect that. Let's collect these last stone bricks. And one more. And we're off. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. If you'd like to play or learn more about Age of Conan Online Unchained, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.